are hundreds of issues that we could talk about, and I would love to have a conversation with each of you about the issues that are important to you. But before we can even talk about the issues, we have to talk about how we talk about the issues, and how we talk to each other, and how we relate to each other. And I want you to look around. I want to thank Joanne Fleming. Joanne is a Washington State committee member for the Democratic Party, and she drove out here from Spokane to be here today. And the reason I thought of that is because I know we have some Democrats here, and I believe there's probably some people here who identify as Republican, and I know for sure there's some people here who would call themselves Libertarian, and I bet there's some people here who would call themselves Independent. And there's probably one or two stubborn people who would say, don't put a label on me. And that's okay, right? Because we're all here together having a conversation. I know I'm doing all the talking, but this is a conversation. And I want it to continue after I'm done speaking. But I bet if I asked everybody here, do you want a happier, healthier, more prosperous community with greater opportunity for the maximum number of people? I think each of you would say, yes, I do. I want that. And I ask you, for those of you who have a daily practice of cursing those people in our country who voted for Trump, I want you to consider for a second how those people might answer that question. If you ask those people, do you think you're a good person? I bet they'd say yes. If you ask them, do you want a better future for our children? I bet they'd say yes. Now, there might be a few exceptions. I'm not talking about those people. But this is the thing. If we can get out of this us versus them mentality, and it takes work because it's taken so long for us to get stuck in these boxes. And it's just how we think, and it's how the media feeds us the issues. Who do we have to resent today? Who do we have to blame this week? Who do we have to fear next? It's so hard to break out of that division and isolation and resentment and fear. But if we can start from that place of commonality that we all want a better future, then our disagreements over how to get there are no longer so threatening. They are no longer so scary. We can have the conversation, and we can still disagree at the end of the conversation. And we can be friends. And maybe as a result of that conversation, we come to some new revelation. We develop some new idea. An idea to address a problem like homelessness that, instead of pushing one group down to lift another group up, can actually lift everyone up and make our community more unified and stronger and more prosperous and more compassionate and more responsive and more transparent and more accountable to all of us. Every policy that we adopt as a community affects every member of our community. It's time we start thinking in those terms, and I don't see that happening.